all my illustrations and all my books are painted with a paint called gouache. When I go around to schools and I talk to kids, I say, it rhymes with squash. That's the way they can remember it. So, but gouache is a water-based paint. It's like an opaque watercolor. That's a good way to describe it. And you can use it with a lot of water and cover large areas, do a big wash, or you can use very little water and it becomes sort of thick and you can cover areas up. And you can use it a bunch of different ways. I have an old toothbrush that I spatter the paintings, I dab it, I soak it down, dab it off, and I'm always scraping through and all sorts of different things to get sort of different textures and techniques. But when I start an illustration, I work on illustration board, which is just like a white, it's kind of like a white cardboard, like a really nice white cardboard. And when I start an illustration, I usually start with the background first and then work to the foreground. So the first thing I do mostly, if it's like an outdoor scene, will be the sky. And I'll do the sky and make sure that's all dry. And then I'll, the back hills, and I'll work right down to where the characters are. And usually the last thing I do is the stuff right in the front that I can paint over the background stuff. Because gouache allows you, in other words, if you paint a sky that's all blue and you want to add a bird, you can paint the whole sky. And then once it's dry, you can go back and add the bird on top. You can cover things up. And, but I don't use computer. A lot of kids say, you must use a computer because your colors are so flat and bright and colorful, but it's all paint. I don't use a computer for any of my artwork. I do sometimes when I'm making a dummy for a book, I'll just print out the words and use that. But no, I'm not. I'm sort of technically, not great.